So let's talk about how you can restore your factory settings. Remember when you first got your computer and everything worked perfectly? It was totally effortless. Joy is kind of like that. If
Yeah.
you watch little children, they're just effortlessly joyful. But then, I don't know, life gets in the way, things change, and it suddenly becomes a little more difficult. We sort of have trouble finding joy, and sometimes we can't even figure out what joy is.
Yeah, oh, believe me,
Right?
I understand. Absolutely. Well, and I think it's important that we upfront differentiate between joy and happiness because we want to make sure we're not saying you should be happy all the time. I mean, happy is a temporary emotion and it's based on outside circumstances. So, when things are going well in life, you're going to be happy. But when things are not going so well, you may be angry or sad or disappointed. And all of those emotions are normal. And as human beings, we're meant to feel a range of emotions. But what we're talking about is joy. And joy is an attitude, it's a choice that we can make to navigate life with positivity and peace. And it's not dependent on outside circumstances.
Yeah, and because it's an attitude, we get to choose that attitude. And we have to do that with intention. It's up to us to really say, I'm going to make this decision intentionally to be joyful no matter what's happening around me.
Absolutely. And it's personal. That's why we call it a joy journey, because your joy journey is going to look different than mine.
It certainly was.
Yeah. It continues to be.
So let's get started with our first activity.
This visualization exercise will help you reconnect with the feeling of joy.
Write down in your journal what unconditional joy means to you.
Imagine yourself full of joy.
Recall a time in your life when you experienced the feeling of unbridled joy.
What does that feel like?
Can you recreate it? In what way could you find that feeling again?
For the next activity, you're going to take that visualization of joy and turn it into a collage. Make a collage of pictures and words that fill you with an abundance of joy, and have fun with this.
Flip through magazines and newspapers, and when you come across something that excites your spirit, cut it out right away. Don't second guess yourself or overthink it, just do it. And put it aside with the others in a pile.
And then assemble them into a collage that represents your inner joy. You can frame your collage and hang it somewhere where you'll see it each and every day to remind you of your vision of joy.